Well, it's the start of another race weekend at the Shanghai International Circuit. Second round of the Chinese Grand Prix of the second round of the season, and it's definitely going to be a thriller. So, welcome, friends and fans, to Joel's F1 on the Go podcast. All right, so I think what we're going to talk about first is George's win last week at the Australian Grand Prix, which was definitely, I guess, not unexpected, but it was definitely good to see. I think he definitely has a chance to take it all the way to Abu Dhabi and to be like a real championship contender. So I think we're definitely going to see him really stepping into his role as the lead driver. And with Kimi Antonelli, he's definitely has is coming up. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how he fares against George this season. I think if he clears up a few mistakes here and there, I think he'll definitely be really fighting for those wins every race. Especially with considering how he had a crash during FP3 last week. But yeah, no, um, is Ferrari back? I think you can probably say it is. They are. It's I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of uh, their resurgence. It's been long overdue. I am a Lewis Hamilton fan, amongst other drivers as well, but Lewis has been someone that I've been following since probably almost 10 years now. So his move to Ferrari was definitely an unexpected one, but I mean, it is what it is. At least he can finally maybe enjoy himself this year, uh, especially with how things have been changing a lot better for him this year. So it's very unfortunate for Oscar Piastri though, with how he had that crash right at the start of the formation, or before even the formation lap. So that was, I would say, heartbreaking. Even though I'm not a straight up Oscar Piastri fan, I definitely felt for him for not even being able to get to the beginning start of the race. At least if you get to like turn one, that'd have been one story. But unfortunately, the Aussie bad luck for him is struck again. But hey, what can you do? Maybe there's always next year, right? But hopefully, it doesn't become like a Charles, like with his Monaco, and how that. Oh goodness, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Charles was definitely needed that win last time, but yeah, and see what else. Oh, I had the Kajar. Unfortunately, I thought he was going to get a really good weekend to kind of have a redemption, for last year, crashing out on the formation lap for him. But unfortunately, reliability, not his fault this time. So, but reliability for Red Bull with their powertrain. Um, and yeah, Max. I mean, he started at what, I think the 20th, and then he came all the way up to sixth, I believe. So, which is a pretty good, comeback all the way. But I don't think he really, even if he was up toward the front, I don't even think he would have been able to get anywhere further than that. Even he admitted that their race pace was just not anything compared to Mercedes and Ferrari. They were way out ahead. I mean, they were, I think, 30 seconds ahead of any other cars behind them after Lewis Hamilton. Or I might have that wrong, but I can always check that later. But it's it's definitely been um, a good resurgence for Ferrari, that's for sure. But I'm definitely looking forward to um, seeing more of Audi's, um, how they're coming into the sport. It's long overdue, I think, in a way. It's especially with how how they're doing in the WC. So, but especially and also with Gabby and Nico in there and for their debut, and they got points. That's pretty good. But I think Nico could have definitely gotten some points as well, at least 10th maybe. But fortunately, they still have some reliability like finagles to get through. But yeah. Let's see what else to talk about. So, um, oh, first let me get some coffee first. It is cold out here. So, I think we should talk about who is going to win, who's going to lose at the Chinese Grand Prix. Um, or at least we do, as we all know, it's going to be a sprint weekend, so which means it's going to be limited testing or limited practices, which is one practice, then straight into sprint qualifying, and then after sprint qualifying, they go into the sprint next day on Saturday, and then they qualify for the race, and then on Sunday, of course, it's the race. So I think it's going to be definitely a challenge for all the 11 teams, every single one of them, being this a new regulation, new rules, new cars. And obviously we have one rookie driver in with Arvid Lindblad, so he's going to be very eager, I would say, especially to kind of do a repeat of what he did in his first debut in Formula One, considering he got points as well. So I mean, he was up there fighting with against Max and Lewis Hamilton and all of them out there just for a little bit, and I think he was definitely wasn't expecting that, but I think he was very happy about that. But no, I think Mercedes are definitely going to have another good race under their belt, especially with their power unit and their battery. I guess I don't know. This is all very new. All these new these regulations and rules and everything. I'm still learning. Hopefully we can all learn together. But as far as who can overcome a lot of the issues that are probably going to be coming, I think Williams is definitely one that has a lot that they need to overcome, especially being very overweight. I think James Wells said that they're heavier than last year's car, which this year is supposed to be like 30 kilograms lighter, so that's pretty crazy. So yeah, and they're heavier than last year's car. They have a lot of work to do to cut down that weight, but I think they can do it. And once they do, man, they're gonna be streaking. So I'm gonna look forward to that. But as far as yeah, we talked about who needs to overcome, but I think the main thing also is who needs to improve is goes probably without saying is Aston Martin. They have been, I don't want to say embarrassing because I mean it kind of goes without saying, but I think they don't they didn't want to be in this position, and Fernando definitely is not like in this situation at all. He was in the like talking to Tom, I believe, about how it doesn't matter for him if it's not a win. Like it's all the same to him whether it's P15 or it's second place, and I think that kind of tells a lot. It's especially considering how he had back in his McLaren Honda days was, you know, yeah, he's definitely not liking this new engine, I guess. But hopefully they can turn things around. But I don't. It's gonna take a while because they are very very far behind on all the teams. Like even Williams are doing better than Aston Martin. So that being said, they did look good when they first started off the line in Australia. So I think Fernando got up to P10, so which is, you know, hopeful, but then had to retire, and then they, he got back into the race again. Then Stroll, he retired and then got back in the race again. And I think classified, even though he wasn't classified, at like P15. I don't even know. Or no, not P15. He classified 15 laps down. My bad. I'm sorry. But no, yeah, it's crazy. I don't think they're gonna be anywhere higher up in the standings anytime soon. I think it's gonna take them about 4 or 5 races before the next, before they get anywhere close to any of the other teams. But I think as far as who has improved, I think I was gonna say McLaren for a moment, but then they didn't really get that far up. But I think Ferrari, if anything, they've definitely improved a lot. So, and hopefully they won't have any strategy woes, even though I think everyone was talking about how Ferrari strategy, like they messed it up. They should have come in for the VSC and at least for the second VSC, and or they should have at least split the drivers, which I do think they should have done, but I don't think that it was a bad call per se, because I think it was too early for their tires, and I think they were thinking that, well, if the reliability for other people is going to be the same way it is, then you might end up being that they might get another chance at a safety car, something might come up. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I do think that they should have at least gambled. They were right up there, going back and forth with George and I think Kimi at one point. He was getting up there too. So, but yeah, no, I think Mercedes and Ferrari is going to be the main contenders for this whole season, which is good. Which is good. We haven't seen a Mercedes Ferrari fight in a long, long, long time. At least not a genuine one. But man, it is cold out here. My coffee is just not hot enough. I don't think. I should say cortado. But let's see. Let's talk about predictions. So I think so if we talk about sprint qualifying predictions, then I have Kimi for pole position. And I want to say Oscar. See? I want to say Oscar will get second. He's definitely has really good pace at the Chinese Grand Prix. He's he got pole last year. He won from pole. But I also do think that Max is going to somehow get into third. He's going to pull his Max magic and he's going to just strangle that car and bring it all the way up there. But as far as sprint itself, I think Charles Leclerc is going to probably get the win. I think George is going to be chasing him the whole way. But I think with Ferrari's wing that they hopefully bring, their Macarena wing, the double wing, the flip up wing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how you want to call it, name it, or whatever. But I think that's going to be definitely something to look out for and see how well they do. It's going to be kind of like a Monza spec, I guess, for a Chinese Grand Prix, but with that long straight, you kind of need something to help help get a little less drag than the other cars, especially if they're at a little bit of a deficit compared to Mercedes. So, but the way that they took off, I think from the starting of the grid, I think that's definitely bears well for them. I think Lewis just might get into P3 after George. He's going to be behind again, but at least he'll get a sprint podium again. But considering last year he got his first sprint win, but obviously he didn't get any other official true race podiums. But we can all hope. But uh, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the seeing this Macarena wing and seeing how it does in real life, in race conditions, because they only tested it. So we'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. But how well will Red Bull do is another question. Um, I think Hajar definitely wants to get his chance against going against Max, like for official, without having without having Max having crashed out. Um, and so he really wants to test himself against his medal against him. So we will see. Um, but whether or not they can truly fight for any wins or anything like that right now, I don't think they're truly there yet. I think they're with their tire degradation issues, and especially at Shanghai International Circuit, I think it's going to be like very front limited. Their left front, I believe, is the one that's going to be taking the most of the brunt. So you definitely need a good LaFrance car for that. But as far as Aston Martin though, I think it's probably going to be another testing session for them. Unfortunately, it's sad to say, honestly, but they had so many hopes. The whole they put everything on 2026, I think, and looks like it might be till 2027 till they really make a mark, I think. But what I've learned is I think Mercedes is definitely going to be a real threat, and I think all the Mercedes engine cars are definitely going to be looking to get back in the fight, because now that they've seen what Mercedes could do at the Australian Grand Prix, they're definitely going to want to, you know, copycat that a little bit. So, but but yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, I'll definitely be willing to answer and at least find out the answers in one way or another. But I think if Ferrari can, bring their Macarena wing, um, I think that can prove to be like a huge deal for them and a huge advantage, I should say. But yeah, I'm really hoping Ferrari can really get through and Lewis, go Lewis, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough to compete against the Mercedes, especially with all these straights, and they're going to be able to recharge their cars a lot more, because they have a lot more bends, and they don't have to be as meticulous in how they split the energy across the whole lap, because they have a lot more chances to brake and recharge, and which is the new hot topic, hot buzzword is recharge and boost and overtake mode, and it's a lot. I'm still learning, so bear with me if I don't get some of the words right. I might mix up boost with overtake mode and overtake with boost mode and get my active arrows all wrong and everything, but we'll get there. But we're just gonna have to watch and find out. But hopefully some other teams can definitely get into the mix. I think the midfield is definitely gonna have a lot more chances, especially with it being a sprint, week. So they have a lot less time to practice, and just one practice, and then they're straight into it. So they're gonna have some fun. The engineers definitely have a challenge ahead of them, and it's 11 teams, 22 drivers. So that's gonna be very exciting to see. But yeah, but um, yeah, I think I'm looking forward to this weekend, and so tomorrow which I'm gonna have to get up bright and early, and to watch this. But yeah, I'm Joel, and this concludes another episode of F1's On the Go podcast. It's cold, so I'm gonna go get another cup of coffee, and yeah, join me tomorrow and after free practice. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment anything that you want. I want to, you know, make my channel open for any discussions, debates. Maybe you want to learn something, and you know, and maybe there's something that I haven't, I don't know yet. So you can teach me, So I know there's a lot of new fans out there, so it's definitely going to be something that we can all learn together. And I'm definitely going to be learning with you guys this season, because it's going to be a lot to take in, a lot of new things that we don't know about, and completely brand new everything. So, but yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. So, ta-ta!